I would like to read for you a Tinder success story. This is called Finding Love in a Time of Corona. There is some poetry that happens. I want you to read the female version, and I'll read the male version. Okay? This is a Tinder success story, everyone. A Tinder success story in the time of COVID. This starts off with Jamie. She is a woman living in Chicago. I want to note her Instagram or her Tinder bio says, just here, mindlessly swiping to see who else is still single. Glad it's not just me. Greetings, fellow losers. Which, by the way, that's the most efficient use of words I've ever heard. 3 words. Greetings, fellow losers. And then we have the guy here. He is appears to be a rock climber named Jordan. And he also lives, it says 10 miles away from her. 10 miles in the Midwest might be the perfect distance. That's a good distance.
Yeah, that's 10 minutes.
And then on his bio, it says, if we match, I'll write you a poem. And then she wrote in her Instagram story on top of that, yes, please, you lanky giraffe, write me a poem. She's got John Oliver energy, you lanky giraffe. So they matched, and then he sent her a poem. So I'm going to read the poem that he sent her.
Okay.
Sorry for the wait, Jamie, but please don't blame me. You matched late at night when the Sandman was raining. I got up, saw we matched, and thought, oh, great. But I had some work to do, so sorry for the wait. And here is your poem, a self-deprecating kind. I imagine that's your style, for we are losers, you did find. So hello, fellow loser, and what a great fat cat. You've mischievous eyes, and I'm liking all of that. Then she wrote in the Instagram story version, giraffe did not disappoint. And then now, Tasha, please give us
her response
Jamie's
poem.
Response.
She wrote a response poem. Oh my goodness, sweet Jordan, I'm very impressed. You've really delivered with 4 stanzas, no less. Your dedication is admirable, your talent unmatched. You win at Tinder, sir, an A+ strategy you've hatched. I'm no poet, that's sure, but I still had to try to match your valiant effort with a poetic reply. Your curly hair is adorable, and you're quite tall. Bravo, Rico Suave, making all the girls fall.
Damn! It is on.
That's a good poem.
This is a pandemic score happening right now. This is. Anyway, let us continue from the male perspective. He responds. The next, let's see. He responds that. Okay, it's important to know the read receipts. She wrote back at 8:01 p.m. Hold on. He wrote his. It doesn't say what time. She wrote back at 8. Then at 8:49, he had a good 40 plus minutes. This is his response. I think you're being humble. I doubt you'd go and lie, but now we've the evidence. You're a better writer than I. You grabbed me by your wit, and with brevity, its soul, you are the goddess keeper, the highest human goal. Your words are rather dope, your makeup is amazing, and don't start me on your hair, for then I might go crazy. Her response?
I have to admit, my dear, I'm a bit intimidated. I have no experience at this, but alas, I'm fascinated. So tell me, is this working? Have I yet won you with my words? Is a love story unfolding? Or are we just both huge nerds? You've already gained the approval of my circle of best friends. We are all anxiously awaiting the next words Tinder Jordan pins.
And then she wrote on the Instagram story, shit's getting real. And then he responded at 9:47 p.m. When 2 huge nerds meet like birds of a feather, they simply can't help but go and flock together. And hello, Jamie's friends. I've no fear to tell you all that she's won me with her words. She casts a clarion call. And thank you for my name. At last, I'm Tinder Jordan. Too bad a legal change is one I'm not affording. But back to Jamie now, for she is why I'm here. I'm sure you all are great, but Jamie I hold dear. And that was responding to the fact that she said,
all her friends
yeah. So what we have happening, folks, if you're not aware, if you're new to this, we've got Jamie in the midst of a poetic battle, if you will, for love happening on Tinder.
screenshotting
Screenshotting
and sharing to Instagram.
And sharing to an Instagram full of people that have nowhere better to go.
Close friends Instagram.
Including Tasha and myself in bed with the lights off, with the,
holding our breath.
Holding our breath.
All right, let me read her response. All right, can I just state, this is the best Tinder exchange yet. Have I found my kindred spirit or just a male coquette? Marry him, said Mary. Is this your soulmate, says Leanne. Either way, that silver tongue has gained more than one fan. And to think I almost ruined it with a limerick about poo. Oh, how sad it would have been if questionable humor kept me from you. So tell me, Master Wordsmith, where do we go from here? With this pandemic still a-ragin', for our love I fear.
Questionable humor. Pooh's fantastic. The butt is the best, the highest of slapstick. I would laugh from my belly and feel my heart go a-flutter had you opened up our dance with humor from the gutter. Don't you dare hold it back, your darkness nor what's lewd. All these gnarled, twisted roots make the beauty that is you. Pandemic, that ain't nothing, and here's one more that's true. He's setting his digits, and two. I bleeped out his digits.
Oh, that's smart.
So he ended a poem with his phone number.
That's slick.
Kid's got them skills down. This isn't his first pandemic, let me tell you. All right, go for it.
Please excuse my brief delay. This banter's made me ravenous. I microwaved 2 burritos, and COVID'll spare you from the flatulence. Shared love of potty humor. Surely it's the sign it's meant to be. For if I excel at one thing, it's joking about poo and pee. I know it's late, so don't feel pressured to rack your brain and keep spitting these treasures. Oops, I messed up. That's 3 lines, not 4. Acuity is fading, yet you keep me wanting more.
And then in the Instagram story, she said, guys, I'm fading. And then she had a question, yes or no. Yes, they should continue, or no, they shouldn't. Because this is at 11 at night. So then he writes back, no one's ever written a poem back to me. I can't but help and wonder what could it all mean. I never would have guessed a sign from the beyond comes through farts and poop and pee, a most human base bond. I hope your burritos leave your stomach free, but if they come and haunt you, please share the joy with me. And then, guys, here's how it ends. And then it ends with an Instagram screen grab of him saying hi. No, of her saying hi via text. And then he goes, oh, thank God. And then she laughs. And that, my friends, is how you go from Tinder to the phone. That is a perfect transition. And we don't know what happened. Have they seen each other? This is info we just don't have.
How are they supposed to go on a date when they're supposed to be social distancing?
I don't know. There's plenty of people that have been demanding updates from them.
I saw the funniest. It was on Overheard LA. You know that Instagram account? Mm-hmm. It was about, we went on a social distance date. The Overheard was, we went on a social distance date. It was fun. Then we kissed. And the other person said, that's like trying with a condom for 1 minute and ripping it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let's find out. Let's find out if they made it to the in person or not. Are you
gonna call her?
Let's give her a call. This is we're calling Jamie, and let's see if we can get her on the phone here.
Hello.
Hi, is this Jamie?
Yes, it is.
Hello.
Hey, it's Tasha and Dave. How are you?
You guys, good. How are you?
Well, we just reread your poetry for the 4th time.
It's so good.
Oh my God.
This is
They're
a
so
love
funny.
story.
You two have set the bar so high that I think you have to go straight to having kids.
You know, that's literally what all of my friends were saying, because I was sharing this on my story. You guys saw it, and everyone was like, if you don't marry that man, I will.
Well, it's interesting because he says he'll give somebody a poem if they match, and you said, try me, bitch. And then you go back, and then he says no one's ever written a poem back. I mean, how amazing that you're the first poem that has been returned to him.
Honestly, how could somebody not, though? It's so fun.
Yeah, and not to mention your poetic prowess was really on point. I mean, did you have a ghostwriter, or were you just coming up with these lines? I mean, you guys are rhyming flatulence and fart jokes. I mean, it was really highbrow.
You know, I feel like I was just in the right mindset because I've never written poems before, but it worked for this instance. So
now, I mean, how many guys do you got to do you got to match with before you get someone who actually piques your interest here? What's the ratio of matches to conversations?
Oh my gosh, honestly, very low. Yeah, I feel like a lot of times whenever I match with somebody, like nobody initiates conversation, myself included. I haven't really been putting any effort into it, but I feel like a lot of people right now aren't either. You know, It was definitely unexpected.
Are there any trends happening on Tinder with the pandemic? I mean, are people like in normal Tinder photos, you get the bro holding the fish and, showing off whatever signs of wealth they have or stature. Is there anything happening? Are there like people just holding up buckets of N95 masks or anything?
I think that I have seen a few pictures of people wearing masks, and also like I think I saw a guy with a picture on his profile of him like holding a bunch of toilet paper and stuff. But that was years ago.
That's a good one. Yeah, that would have been a good one. A little toilet paper.
Or like a negative COVID test. You need your certificate.
Yeah.
It's like your clean STDs test.
I have not seen that yet.
Well, because I've been told on from my friends on Grindr that there's like a button for like if you've been tested or not, like in the male community, if they've been tested for AIDS or not. But it would be interesting if imagine if you had the what's it called, the antibodies test that basically lets anybody know you've had it and you're safe.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a really close friend who's a doctor, and we had a lot of conversations about these antibody tests and stuff. And I feel like, I don't know how accurate they are because nobody knows how long you actually are immune. So.
Yeah, especially for $150 a pop. It's like
a virus that's going to mutate and be totally different in a few months.
Exactly. I'm actually going to get a COVID test tomorrow.
Well, good luck with that.
Not because I'm sick. I know, not because I'm sick, but I mean, at least after tomorrow, I'll know for the next few days if I definitely do or definitely don't have it. Who knows if I'll pick it up or no.
We're sitting on the edge of our seats, and we want to know: Have you met this Tinder Shakespeare? We should call him Tinder Shakespeare.
No, we actually have not met yet.
Have you continued talking?
Somewhat, yes. For like a few days, yeah. We were supposed to actually meet for a socially distant walk last week, but I had to postpone. Just because, I don't know, just to be precautious.
This is what's so tough, though, is that you have to, like, building a spark, right? You guys built a spark through poetry. But, like, if you can't go see somebody, that's, next thing you know, you're doing your taxes, you got a photo shoot, and next thing you know, you're gone. Yeah, it's like when you're lighting,
the Tinder, when you're lighting the Tinder and you get that initial spark, like, you have to hurry up and blow on it to get a giant flame.
Is that why they call it Tinder?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to blow on it to get a giant flame, Jamie. That's what you have to do.
You guys, never mind. I'm not gonna go there.
Now, were you able to go? You went from texting, and then I'm guessing, did you guys FaceTime after that? Did you escalate?
Yes, we did FaceTime. We did like a couple of Zoom calls, which was fine. I actually did a Zoom date like maybe a month and a half ago, and it was the most awkward thing ever.
Oh, I can imagine totally.
Yeah. But this was fine. Zooming with Tinder Jordan was fine. He actually played music for me one day when I was working, and it was really fun.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that update. He was DJing.
Wow, yeah, he's a DJ too?
So funny.
He's
it was
tall?
like just the two of us, and I was like, I'm working. And he's like, cool, you want to hear some music? And I was like, yes, I do. Thank you.
Well, let me tell you something, Jamie. He rock climbs in his photo. So let me tell you something. This man's got some of the strongest hands you've ever met. I'm telling you. Rock climbers, it's like if a guy meets someone who's a horseback rider, she's going to have the strongest hips ever. So let me just tell you something.
And a DJ, he has like a light touch.
Yeah. We can't. Yeah, let's see if he gets to scratch your discs or not, metaphorically. Now, what's going on? You're in the Midwest. Are you still on full lockdown, or are you out working? What are you up to?
No, I mean, I haven't really been working a lot. You guys know I shoot weddings, so basically for the past few months I've been
everything's canceled,
scheduling all of my weddings.
Yeah.
Which has been a lot. So yeah, there's not going to be any large gatherings allowed here for a while. So most of my clients had to reschedule their weddings.
Are you still down to shoot our wedding when we finally get around to planning it? Maybe in 2 years after all the COVID goes away?
Yes. I don't know if I think I told you guys this when you first got engaged. I already called this.
Yeah. Well, actually, we actually booked our DJ. His name's Tinder Jordan. So we're going all in for it.
I'm sure he's going to be really excited for that. That's hilarious.
Let me ask you this. I know you have to go. You're going to shoot something right after this, no?
I do. I have an engagement shoot.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is when we actually of all the photo shoots Tasha and I have done for like fake weddings and this and that, and that's how we met you, was a fake wedding in the desert. We shot our own engagement shoots by ourselves with a tripod. You know, of all
really?
big, we just were kind of like, ugh, I think we were just over.
I think we were trying to keep it a secret so that we could tell our friends and family in person, but with everyone living on different coasts, it took some time to do that. So we had kept our engagement a secret for almost 2 months. And then we were like, we really need to announce this. And so we just went to the Pasadena like City Hall and like took a couple photos and announced it.
Yeah, no, actually, now that you mentioned it, I do remember seeing the photos that you guys shot.
So if there's anything wrong with them, it's because we did it.
We did it ourselves. Maybe we should redo
with
it.
Tasha in heels running back and forth.
They were amazing.
Do you ever have, as a wedding photographer, are you getting hit on by these? I mean, you're a good-looking lady. Are you getting hit on by these wedding guests?
Oh my gosh, yes, I have some horror stories.
Only horror, no success stories? I guess you probably don't share those with your business. No success stories? I said no success stories?
No. You know, I feel like, no, it's just a bad idea overall. I've had a few, like, oh, no.
Well, that's the case usually. Like I remember Tasha and I went to a wedding, and the second she went to the bar to get a drink, and I was at the table, there was some dude already hitting on her, and it was like, boy, the stakes are high at weddings to go get laid if you're single. I mean, it can be great, but it can also be like if you it's like the bridesmaid shuts you down. Next thing you know, you're going after Jamie the photographer.
Dude, seriously, I had this one wedding where, like, unbeknownst to me, the bride had totally talked me up to one of the groom's friends. And this guy was, like, super excited to meet me, and they told me about it on the day up. They were, like, shooting them getting ready. And they're like, oh, this guy's going to be there. We really want him to meet you. We think that you guys would be so cute together. And the whole day, this guy was just, like, following me around. I was like, stop, this is so awkward.
You're, like, trying to work, but you're also, like, having to babysit this puppy dog.
You know, a good wedding photographer puts the miles in. You guys work hard. I mean, there's a lot of prerequisite photos that people want. The bride's always, even the nicest of intentions, is always miserable. I mean, we just don't look forward to a wedding where we're going to be stressed out so other people can have a good, steak dinner. I don't understand it.
Why you guys got to keep it small? Go live somewhere. I'm down. I'll go with you.
Yeah, I think
I'm going with you.
100%. And I think that's actually totally the plan. Like, as soon as there's a window of safety and we can, like, find a venue, doesn't matter where, might be Mexico, might be Thailand, we'll do it last minute. But I think we're probably going to try and pull a last minute wedding.
I didn't know if you wanted to promote anything on here, because I didn't know if you're, because when you sent us the Tinder, that was to a closed group of friends, which we appreciate that we're in there. But did you want to promote your services if there's anyone out there if they're looking to get hitched?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you guys can, check me out on Instagram. It's Lauren Weddings, and my website is laurenweddings.com.
Spelled Loren, Lauren Weddings.
Yeah. As far as the Jordan thing is going, I hope I didn't drop the ball, but I've been in like a super reclusive mode for the last few days, so we'll see how.
But it could show his true colors too if he's willing to give you some space and show, because it sounds like we're all projecting. We see a couple poems and we think we know everybody. But let me tell you about Jordan. Mm-hmm. This guy, if he gives you your space and lets you be, distant or whatever, who knows? Maybe.
But I think also it's important for him to take initiative too. Like, say, hey, I realize that we should be social distancing and whatever, but do you want to do that social distance date? Maybe throw out some ideas, make some plans. I mean, that's attractive to let a guy take the reins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
I had one more question for you. We just took the Enneagram test. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes. Oh my God. Was it spot on?
Yes. We haven't read it yet with the podcast, so I'm not going to jump into our scores, but I've seen a lot of people taking this. Is this just like the new popular thing, or is it because everyone's at home, they're taking an extra quiz? But what have you learned anything about yourself from taking this personality test?
Yeah, actually, so the way that I even heard about it was I hired a girl for like copywriting for my website a couple years ago, and part of the whole like interview process, she was like, "Hey, I want you to take this test," and she like sent me a link to the full test and like paid for it as like part of the package. And I was like, "What is this test?" And then as soon as I started reading more about it, I was like, "Oh my God, totally!" Like I definitely relate to my results a million percent. So,
Jamie, was yours like very obvious? Did you have one that was much more like percentage than all the others?
I think I had two that were pretty close, but I definitely was able to distinguish which one I like identified with the most.
Which was which number?
I'm a 7.
Okay, so 7 says it's described as the enthusiast. 7s want to have as much fun and adventure as possible and are easily bored. You hear that, Jordan? You better.
Oh, no.
You're a party girl.
Like right now in quarantine, I'm so out of my element because I can't do anything fun and I can't have any adventures. So.
But that explains why you were the one person that ever wrote back a poem, because you're like, fuck yeah, let's dive into this. Let's give this a try.
But also, she's a wedding photographer. She wants fun. She wants adventure. This is amazing. I mean, they nailed you. Hopefully, Jordan does too. I want to tell you this. We're going to let you go. We appreciate you so much. You've gone from just a random photographer we worked with to a nice support for our podcast and just a nice friend. So it's exciting for us to follow your exploits out there. You're funny. These poems are hilarious, and keep sharing that. And if Jordan's not the lucky guy or gal, somebody else will be. So we're excited to see the next steps for you. So keep us posted, all right?
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you both so much, and I love the podcast.
We love you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
That was Jamie, everybody, coming in from the Midwest, wedding photographer, friend of the podcast.